Eagle in the Snow. I just heard this amazing, amazing story. True, again. I think I've mentioned. A lot of what I write about has truth at its heart. It's a wonderful young soldier in the First World War called Henry Tandy. And Henry Tandy was the most decorated soldier in the First World War. He had the Victoria Cross, he had all sorts. Right towards the end of the war, he had the most extraordinary thing that happened, which most people don't know about. So I thought I'd write a story about it since I had discovered this story. Henry Tandy was with his soldiers right towards the end of the war in 1918, and he was attacking some machine guns, some German machine gunners. And as usual, he rushed out first. And anyway, he killed some German soldiers and took lots of them captive. And all the soldiers were exhausted after this attack, and there was a lot of smoke around, and they couldn't see very well. But it was all over. All the fighting was over. And suddenly, out of the smoke, this one single soldier walks forward, a German soldier, trailing his rifle. And they all raised their rifles, the British soldiers, to shoot him. And Tandy said, no, 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 no. That's enough. He's not going to hurt us. And this German soldier just stood there in the smoke. So Tandy went up to him. And he just looked at him in the face and said something like, and we don't know the words because we weren't there, but he said something like, just go home. And this German soldier turned round and walked away through the smoke. So Henry Tandy spared this soldier's life. You'd think that was the end of the story. So what happens is that the war ends. Tandy comes home, he gets his Victoria Cross from King George V in Buckingham Palace, and then he goes back to work in his car factory up in Coventry and lives a completely normal life. And then, 20 years later, there's this man called Adolf Hitler, Chancellor of Germany, and about to plunge the entire world into the Second World War, who starts telling the story about his time in the First World War when his life had been spared by a British soldier at a particular battle, which was the battle that Henry Tandy was at. I won't go into the detail of it, you'll have to read the story, but this is a story of how Henry Tandy gets to learn that he has spared the life of this Adolf Hitler, who people already knew was going to do this terrible thing to the rest of the world. So Eagle in the Snow, it's called.